Essentially, what you really want to have happened is for the leaves to be producing lots of nutrients, sugars, and such. So that when they finally convert over to the dormant period, when they grow up a layer of cells and separates, leaves, the rest of the tree known as the sand layer, there are plenty of sugars and nutrients trapped in that leaf so that as the chlorophyll fades, and leaf loses that green color, there are plenty of other materials in there that give the leaves their color. In terms of during the growing season, when the temperatures are higher and plants are picking up water from the soil, that the total moisture loss from top soil layers actually on average is much greater than what comes down the rainfall. This is because the plants themselves take up so much moisture here and the high temperatures simply evaporate a lot of the water right off the surface of the soil before it has a chance to soak in. As a result, it's very difficult to recharge the deep soil and groundwater system during the growing season. These studies that are going on at the moment, but the latest one, which is, I find, really exciting, is working with family carers of people living MTH dementia. And we're actually showing the family carers how to use music in really strategic ways to support the care of the person that they're looking after. But we're also interested in preserving the relationship between the carer and the person that they're caring for, because one of the challenges for carers is that, when they're caring for someone and that person starts to forget who they are and stops recognizing them, the person with dementia doesn't give anything back. So, using music in a way that helps to bring that person to the present. So it's this short-term trading window at the start of each weekday, where for 5 minutes the largest banks in Australia would trade these short-term loans. These IOUs. And by trading them, they're kind of saying, I'm willing to pay this interest rate, or I'm willing to buy this short-term loan for this price, which helps determine the interest rate. And then once that rate is set through that window, that is the rate for the day. In Russia, in Turkey, in Hungary, in a number of other places, authoritarian leaders or liberal Democrats are attacking universities because universities are free institutions. Once you've attacked a free press, once you've attacked the courts, what's your next attack point? It's going to be a university. So we see what's happening in Hungary as part of a much wider global pattern, and that's why I think it should be of concern to Australians. It's the thing. You'd have to be a seismic instrument to actually feel these ones, but they are there. They occur at all depths. Some of them quite deep. Some of them quite shallow. And I was actually in conversation with one of your colleagues from the geology department about them and about the location of them and where these fault structures go. It's been fantastic. I will try to have the practice. After class ends, if you want to continue the discussion, you have some questions that occurred to you towards the end. Didn't have a chance to share them with the class as a whole, I will, on a normal day, meet outside and continue to talk with however many of you want to do that, until you're done. Many environmentalists and renewable energy advocates hope that they'll help turn the tide against climate change and lessen our dependence on foreign oil. But will electric cars meet these lofty expectations? Cyan is currently an assistant professor at Spear, says maybe because the environmental benefits of electric cars depend in part on the source of the electricity used to charge them. It's been interesting because in the last week or so, there's quite a bit of media kerfuffle about the topic of indigenous science. What is indigenous science? How does it relate to Western science? Can we even put them on the same level? Is it political correctness gone mad? Am I just another social justice warrior interested in pushing a culture war, you know? Funny for a white American astrophysicist to be accused of that. My own neighborhood was a pretty good example of where the reporters of the area came from. I live next door to a cop. There was a fireman across the street, and THC most important the most awesome figure in the neighborhood worked at City Hall as a doorman. It was a working class middle class neighborhood and that's where the reporters came from.